Oh my God, the wrinkles. Dang, that's what we got to get the car to sound like at the end of all this. You can buy a nice aftermarket air intake system for pretty much any car. They make your engine bay look cooler, make your engine sound a little bit better, and heck, they'll often buy you a few horsepower. But they also cost a lot of money, often more than $200. What if you don't have all that money? I mean, intakes are pretty simple. You just got to get air into the engine, pretty much just some tubing. So I went to Home Depot. We're gonna make an intake out of plumbing components from the hardware store. Let's be honest for a minute. This is a little bit ridiculous, but the boys helped me make this show really wanna see me make an intake out of poop pipes. So that's what we're gonna do today. What's the worst that can happen? Should I DIY? Or should I don't?
Do it. Don't do it.
Jeremiah, quit being a tool. Go get yourself our new Tools shirt at donut.media.com. That's right, we came out with our all-new Tools shirt.
It's made out of 100% cotton, so it's the perfect shirt to wear while you work on your car.
Or to give to that one friend who forgets the name of that one tool.
Maybe it'll help you get that project car up and running that you've been planning on working on.
Yeah, the problem is that I can't remember what pliers are called. This is possibly my favorite shirt we've ever made. First off, I love the color purple and it looks sick against this gray. And it's like a cheat sheet. If you're in like automotive school, have the person that sits in front of you wear this shirt and you'll get everything right on the test. Donutmedia.com, get you one today. Trust me, best shirt ever.
So soft.
Okay, so first off, we've got this piece of 3-inch pipe. Plumbing stuff, things are a little different. The 3-inch is actually measured off the ID, so this is actually about 3.5 inches, which makes things a little tricky. Not like your normal car stuff. Then I've got these 3-inch couplers, which again, are really 3.5-inch couplers. We've got this cone filter, spent about 30 bucks on this. That's the most automotive part of this whole thing, I'd say. 2 options for 90-degree elbows. We'll choose whichever one works better, and then I can return the other for even greater savings. Then we've got some sweet bracing for, holding the thing in place. Ooh, I licked it for real. We've got some cement for cementing. Cementing our bits together. All the hardware store stuff was about 45 bucks. The filter itself was about 30, so we got about 75 bucks here. Not too bad. On Joey's car right now, we've got the Trd Intake, and it's obviously very nice. This is like a traditional panel filter style air box, so you got a big flat air filter in there. They're great. They come on pretty much every car. The filter is nice and protected from the elements. What else is important is the placement of this intake. You can see at the very front, it has a little snorkel that's going under the bumper where there is a bunch of airflow. The bumper is catching a bunch of air from the front, and then that's getting routed up and funneled into this air box. So what we're gonna do is basically just try to make a little 90-degree bend and put our filter right here, right where the air box is, right in front of that snorkel, so that our filter will be catching some of the air that's coming up through the bumper. What we're really gonna get here, hopefully, is more noise. So before we take anything off, we should start this thing up, give it a few revs, listen to how it sounds, and then we can do the same at the end and see if we've improved on the noise quality of this car. All right, Mario, fire this pig up. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet intake, which many normal people want, but that ain't us. So let's see if we can make this thing a little bit louder. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is just pop out this mass airflow sensor, get it out of the way. For your engine to be able to use all the air that you're getting into it, it needs to know how much is there, and that's where your mass airflow sensor comes into play. It's very important, you have to have it. If I was trying to do this as cheaply as humanly possible, I would literally just cut this intake and use the MAF housing that's built into the factory intake. But this isn't my car, this is Joey's car. So we're not gonna hack his up. We do have this from an old intake that he had. This is just a MAF housing, and we're gonna use it so that I don't have to hack his up. We'll pull out this hose, and then we can just take out the whole intake. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice intake. We'd be fine leaving this alone. Okay, piece 1, done. Easy as that. Now we need to get from this 3-inch actual OD pipe to this like 3.5-inch hole. You see how these filters have these different rings that sort of allow it to be different sizes, because once you tighten the hose clamp down, all that gets sandwiched and it's like one big piece. Look at this. Oh my God, the plumb quick, baby. Oh, hell yeah. That's rock solid. Can you say hell yeah? I just love it when a plan comes together. That's gonna fit on there, no problem. So I need to make some cuts out of that straight piece, and then that'll hang out of here and give us room to make our bend. To the saw. This stuff is easy to work with, way easier than metal. You might be wondering why everybody doesn't just make their intakes out of this. And I mean, kind of, sort of, a lot of companies do, but the plastics that are usually used on intakes and in your engine bay are a little bit better designed to withstand heat. This stuff from the hardware store is only good for up to 180 degrees, and engine bays can definitely get to 200, 225 and beyond. So we'll see how this holds up. It is very easy to work with, but it's not quite the right stuff for the job if we're being honest. We're gonna clean this out real nice. Got my deburring tool. I wanna make sure we get all the scraps out of this thing so that we're not sucking any chunks of ABS through Joey's engine. Okay, check this. And now this. That looks pretty good, man. Cool, where's my tape measure? Okay, so I'm gonna want that to be about 6 inches. Mark out our cut. Whoa! My pen doesn't need a jacket. Why would I want this? Whatever. Okay, 6 inches, right? Right. Good enough for government work. I think we're gonna trim this a little shorter than what we've got it right now. I don't want it to stick that far into the filter, but definitely better to start long and trim her down than the other way around, so. You know, we might be using poop pipe, but that doesn't mean we want it to look like poop, right? Okay, I think this is gonna be the last piece of crap conduit that we need to insert. So we've placed our filter such that it's catching all that cold air coming through that snorkel. Gee whiz, a little bit of planning, some great execution, and this thing's coming together. You know, when you think about it, this pipe is living its best life. It was doomed to carry dung, and now it's gonna be making power. Now I need to glue together all the pipe pieces. This is an all-purpose. This works on PVC and ABS like this, and this will make a permanent juncture of the pieces that we put it on. God, made a permanent juncture of the cap to the bottle. Just a little bit of like this kind of action, and then one of these type of deals, and you give that a little bit of time, and that'll be one piece forever. All right, now we can work on bracing this thing, basically mounting it to the chassis, and I think it's gonna be pretty easy. So I've got this thing, this is for hanging poop pipe in, you know, a building, like up there, the old anal aqueduct. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of bending. Not bad. Now we'll pull this off, cut the tail off, put a hole down through these 2 layers, and brace built, baby. Voila. Wow. Oh, hell yeah, brother. That's an intake made out of the caca canals. We made a sick little hot snake intake, but the proof is really in the revving. So let's hear this thing, see what it sounds like. Mario, hop in. Sounds a little throatier already. All right, Mario, give me some revs. Okay, that's enough. She sounds rad. I mean, you can really hear the engine deep breathing to try to make some power, and it's awesome. Honestly, in my opinion, there's nothing quite like really good induction sounds, especially on a 4-cylinder. One of the best ways to make them sound good, in my opinion.
Hey Zach, that sounded annoyingly good, like even from the other room.
Thank you. Are you gonna be able to handle the power?
Let's find out. That sounds kind of cool.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah! That's not bad.
So much power you don't even know what to do with it. We don't have the road for it.
I've
We're
never
running
had
out of
this
road.
much power in this car.
Yeah, you got some passengers in your car and they're like, whoa, this thing sounds so freaking cool. And then you pop the hood and it melted off.
But like if you find yourself in a jam where for some reason you don't have an intake and you're like, oh, okay, I need to throw something on this to drive it home.
Oh yeah, this would get you home.
This will get you home.
Should we take it to Cars and Coffee, maybe?
See what the people think. got back from the road test. Now let's see if it held up, if it's still where we left it. Hey!
Look at that.
Not even melted. It sounded pretty good. I think this is, you know, about as good as it can get, but I'm really interested to see what this thing would sound like if we just made it a little bit longer. And I have a spare piece of poop pipe, so let's put it on there. See what it sounds like. See if we can notice a difference. I'm not sure. Probably gonna get a lot of like gravity effect helping the air down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's fire this hog up. Hell yeah, brother! Wow! Oh my God! Sounds about the same. Looks way cooler though, you can't deny that. And if we did cut a hole in the hood, think about all the cool, cold air this thing would get. This might be the ultimate intake. It also might not. Let's talk about it. Well, we did it. We made an intake out of PVC piping meant to carry feces. We hardly spent any money. We spent less than 70 bucks on the necessary materials to make an intake. So not too bad there, especially when you consider that aftermarket intakes often cost $300, $400, $500 bucks. Didn't take very long. I'd say we were probably at it for like an hour and a half, maybe, tops. Bada bing, bada boom, we were done. That notwithstanding, it didn't look that bad. If you just walked by the car at a car show, you might not even think about it. But it is stuff that's not meant to be used in an automotive environment, like in an engine bay where things get really hot. I don't really actually recommend doing this, but you know, do what you want. Your mileage may vary. You know, I'm not your dad. I can't really give this that high of a score. I'll give this a 1.5 out of 5. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope Joey likes his new intake. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at ZachJob. Follow Donut at donut.media while you're there. And I'll see you guys next week for another DIY or don't.